This video is made for adult collectors because Star Wars. So I got this from Bai, then posted about it because, you know, it's cool. And the amount of people who thought this was the old one kind of blew me away. Like both on Twitter, Instagram, and my friends didn't realize that this was a new version. The original was from like 2006-ish, and it crumbled to pieces. Chewbacca had gold plastic syndrome, like a lot of the crossover toys of the time. This one though does not, because it is an entirely brand new mold. This was also after GPS was pretty much solved in 2009-ish. I'm starting in Falcon mode, but first, before I go any further, sponsor time. This video is brought to you by, well, Bai. Bai is a Japanese proxy buying service that allows you to purchase things from Japan that wouldn't necessarily ship outside of Japan. I have a link in the description down below, which should give you 10% off, I believe, on your first order or something like that. You get a 10% off coupon, but they have a ton of different things over there. I usually use Yahoo Japan and Mercari, and you can look up Transformers, and there's like loads of stuff that you wouldn't be able to get over here on there. Just please make sure you budget for shipping. The more you add, the more expensive it gets. But from Bai this time, I got this for 90 bucks, and then I got these two train bots for less than retail price, brand new, and boy am I glad I paid less than retail price, because these two are just, that's a whole separate video. We'll get to that later. But thank you very much for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the actual toy. So this is the Millennium Falcon from the Star Wars toy line back in 2018 when Takara brought back the Star Wars crossover toys for two of them. The TIE Advanced and the Millennium Falcon. Don't know why they restarted it and why it was so brief, but they produced two toys. One was this, and they were sold at a premium due to the more clever engineering and the higher levels of detail, but the lack of electronics of the original. As a model of the Falcon though, this can probably rival those Micro Galaxy Squad toys by Jazzwares. The level of detail on this is insane. They really got all the dirt and the scorch marks done very well. The panel lining can seem a bit messy in certain areas, but I'm glad they did it at all. Plus the Falcon's always like dirty, so I guess the messy panel lines kind of work. They managed to keep the slim nature of the ship over the chunky ice cream sandwich looking old one. I also like the dish details, and the cannons, while chunky, are neat because they're the actual robot's weapons, Han's guns and Chewie's bowcaster. It does have landing gear, though the front two like to fold away a lot, kind of loose and kind of pain. I do like how they sculpted the landing gear on the sides of each panel though, that's cool. It also comes with a small Chewie and a Han. Little itty bitty little tiny figures smaller than a Titan Master that have arm posing. Han can sit in the cockpit and Chewie can sleep in the gunner position. Bro's just having a nap. The only issue I have with the Falcon, other than the two loose landing gear, is the front cargo thingy here likes to bend down a bit because it doesn't click into place. But like that's it. The ship mode is great. But how is it at being a transformer? Alright, so this is so much more refined than the original one. I'm gonna actually remove Chewie. Close that back up. One of the landing gears has folded in again. And then we're gonna, oh, there go the landing gear again. We're gonna take Han out as well. But it's a lot more refined than the original one was. And it's actually really satisfying to like slide this out. So what you do is you grab it from here, your thumbs here, and your finger is like underneath the docking ports, and then you just slide it up. And then it comes apart. That's really satisfying to like shunk, put it in, and then chunk, take it out. But you want to do that. You can already see Han's head. Now we're going to remove the guns from the tops and fold up the landing gear if they haven't already started folding themselves up. There we go. And we'll do Chewie first. So Chewie, I'm gonna have to move up here. Chewie's really simple. To start with, we're going to just pull this down. And then the legs here, this bottom section is going to become the legs. So you're going to want to pull it out like that. Then you split it and bring the legs down like so. We're going to take the knee pads, fold them down like that. Fold them down. Bring out the feet like so. Fold these panels up to cover up the gaps. And then you have the legs. Now the arms. You bring this panel down and rotate it back, like so. Bring the arms down, fold out the hands. Now the hands are asymmetrical, which is kind of funny. He also can't hold anything in this hand, but whatever. And then the back. Oh, he's doing the splits. Don't do the splits. You bring these up, and then you flip out these little like booster things. And then, you know what? We'll open his gun up Oops. And drop it on the floor. And then you flip out this little handle. Then that goes in his hand. There you have Chewie. Yay, Chewie. Wookiee noises. So, Han, remove the satellite. There we go. Han is a lot more complex. I just kicked the camera. So to start with, you rotate the cockpit, you split it, and you bring it down. Now you want to take the cockpit, rotate it 90 degrees. That way you can push this section out and flip it 180 degrees, and then you bring the cockpit back around and peg it into place. Otherwise, it's just going to get caught on this joint here, and it's going to be annoying, so that rotation is kind of necessary. Then you want to open this section up, and then bring this out, fold it back, close it back up. That'll free up an arm. And this side is a little bit more tough to do than the other side. There we go. Free it up, close that back up. Now you want to take this section here, flip it to the back, and then this will slide over and tap into place. Now the arms, you just take them and you fold them around. Then you want to get your fingernail in there and fold out the hand. The legs are interesting. You want to bring them out. Don't fold these up just yet, because that way it gives you an ideal place to grab the toes and pull them out. This is a little difficult to do. There we go. But if you have this folded up, it's even harder to get in there. So I recommend folding that up afterwards, then fold out the heel. So pull that out, flip down the foot, fold out the heel, flip up the knee pad, like so. Take this section, you collapse it in. There's a tab right there that'll go into that slot. So you just peg that into place, then you fold these triangles up. And there you have Han. Then you can plug the satellite dish into here, and then I take these and I plug them into his back for weapon storage. And he fell over. Used copy. And there you have Han. So the transformation is pretty interesting. Chewie's kind of predictable, but Han pulls his limbs out from very interesting places. And these mechs, yes, these are mechs, look pretty interesting. There are aspects I like and don't, but they still look pretty neat to me. We'll start with Chewie, but I love the big shoulders and how high up they sit. The legs are a bit weird to me though. Kind of wish they could have had like a thing to compress them just a little bit more. They just look like the back of the Falcon just hanging out there. His chest section also doesn't tab in, so it's a bit annoying when you pick the toy up, because naturally most people want to hold it in the middle and it's gonna flop out. I do like the bowcaster. It does look super neat with the little double barrels and the little balls at the end. Balls. Now Han though is the one I like the most, because it looks the most like a mech to me. The face-plated head, the angles, the way the legs are shaped, the massive boosters on the back. I dig the way that looks. It feels kind of Gundam-like in its design, and I think that's why I like it, because it fits that mech vibe. The fusion cannon on the arm is a neat touch being made out of the cockpit. It's also where Han sits, so technically he can fire Han Solos at people. He also comes with 2 hand pistols, which looks pretty neat and pretty accurate for the most part. They are missing a couple of little like details on the side, but that's more so because they have to sit literally right next to each other as the turret, so it wouldn't fit. Han also feels the most solid. Everything pegs together and feels super stable as opposed to Chewbacca. They are both mechs, like I said, but they aren't big, coming in at around Voyager-ish height, but they are wide as hell. So if they were sold individually, they would sell at like 2-liter prices, I'd probably assume. But together they look cool. So the articulation on both of these guys is actually different. It's very different. So we'll start with Han. The head is on a ball joint. You can look up that far. That's pretty much all you can do. No real tilt, but you can get side to side. Shoulders, they rotate. They're on an angle, but they rotate a full 360 degrees. They can go in and out. I believe the shoulders are actually backwards because the silver detail is in the wrong place. There we go. You have bicep rotation, single jointed elbow, nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist due to how all this is constructed. Hips can go forward that far, they can go back that far, in and out. Thigh rotation. You have over 90 degrees of bend at the knee and then nothing at the feet. So yeah, it's pretty 2018. It reminds me a lot of like this. So yeah. Chewbacca though, Chewbacca has modern articulation except for his ankles. So again, remove the gun. So the head is on a much nicer ball joint. You can get some tilt, you can get some up and down, you can get some rotation. The shoulders, they can do a full 360 degrees. They can go out that far and then out even further, though the weight of the shoulder on my copy is a little too much. However, butterfly joints And these aren't for the transformation. These are just here. I love that. Bicep rotation, 90-degree bend at the elbow. You can also use this joint if you need to. Nothing at the wrist. Waist rotation. Hips can go forward. And as you can see, because this doesn't peg in, it just moves. But legs move forward. They can go back. They can go in and out. Thigh rotation, which is really loose on my copy. A little like it is 90 degrees because the foot's flat, but it doesn't look 90 because of the way that this is shaped. And then nothing at the ankles. So he's a lot more posable. It's just my copy is so loose that I don't want to actually pose it. But yeah, they're not bad. I mean, 2018, this was around the time Siege was coming out, so Siege had all the nice articulation, but these guys kind of feel like this, which was also still prevalent at the time, so I'm not that bothered by them not being super duper posable. That and like Star Wars tax. But they're nice, they're fun. So yeah, this is a very interesting toy, and in the end, I like it a lot. It's super fun and neat. Is it worth the $90 I paid though? Well, seeing as the eBay prices for this are, Jesus, yeah, I'm glad I paid $90 for this. They're two modern leader style toys, minus some other articulation, in a box and that are highly detailed in their ship mode. I think $90 works well for this, and I would recommend it. We are getting a new Star Wars crossover sometime soon, but we don't know what ship it is. But if it follows the same style as this, I will be looking forward to that. And then you can get this and put it along with that. But that's my look at the Transformers Star Wars crossover Millennium Falcon from 2018, who doesn't really have a toy line name, but whatever. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.